Hello, comrades, and welcome back to the city of Revergrad. I am Premier Rever, and our people of Revergrad are quite happy with me. How could they not be? With such a glorious leader to lead them to untold prosperity. Look at all that money. Not that I would ever give them any of that money because, well, I'm a socialist dictator. Anyway. Yeah, I guess they don't get rewarded if they do well either, do they? Which is sort of one of the big problems with socialism. It's fine to talk about everybody eating, but, unless the leader is as great as I am, that causes problems because what's the incentive to do better? Look, I'm getting richer and richer. I could buy yachts in the Caribbean. My people would never even know about it. And if they found out, I could send them over to our gulag up here, which I haven't built yet, but we will get the gulag going at one point. There was a post on Steam recently that I read, and somebody said, "Oh, I got a lot of plus 21s." Plus 21s aren't necessarily a problem. Like in this case, I mean, it's fine to have them, but at the same time, they're not really hurting anything. What really is kind of the number that's sort of bad is that I have 1,800 unemployed workers. What that's telling me is probably, I would guess, that the city of Revergrad doesn't need this many houses, right? And therefore, either that or I'm not shuttling people to the right places. I think it's fine to have some unemployed, but this is, getting fairly high. I'm not too worried because we're raking in the dough, but, it's certainly possible that's, those people are not producing anything for the Republic, and that yet they're not working, and yet they're still sucking up my food and everything else that we're producing and importing and whatnot. But anyway, I'm not too worried because, again, things are going well, and that's really the bottom line, right? So, yeah, it's my advice that I wouldn't worry too much about plus 21s unless you're having population issues, and then, yeah, definitely get them spread out a little bit better so that they can get married and have kids, because I don't think they get married and have kids when they're still living with their parents. So, in any event, I want to do basically what you would call a construction episode, or what I might call a construction episode, where we just go around and see the things that we want to do. Now, we have a bit of a cluster here. So the first thing I would like to do is actually start paving this road, because they expect, these guys expect a train to just go blowing by. They don't really expect this construction thing to happen. And because of look what's happening. Like, this guy's not building because we're in the same block, so we're going to have quite a traffic jam. But if I were to repave this section of road, like say here, let's ooh, nice long section. Ooh, real long. Right? And by the way, in between the episodes, I moved at least enough to construct up into here. So there we go. So now that that's a construction project, what it's going to do is the guys that do want to come here are going to say, no, I can't go that way. So instead of just sitting here waiting, what they're going to do is they're going to take an alternate route and go around, well, probably this way. I hope they don't come back. Well, you know what? Do we want to... Yeah, you know what? Let's delete this road, because I always want them to bail off here, even though it'll be slightly slower, especially with what I just said in mind. There we go. There we go. I don't think I deleted anything else I didn't want to. So now, without that road there, they'll get off, somewhere further up. Now these guys are still coming down it, but once they start working on it, they'll stop and they'll start pretty shortly, I bet you, going over this way. This guy might even, we'll see. No, he's going to go down and get in the traffic jam. So yeah, this will be, yeah, see now this guy's starting to work. That other guy went back. But this will be a little bit of a cluster down here until these railroad guys get past a certain point. So there you go. And then eventually once they're past the road itself, we'll talk about, once they're going over to other places to work, we can probably put up a signal or two here to kind of get them not conflicting with each other completely. So, how are we doing otherwise? I set up a few projects. I think the people over there are happy for the moment, the construction workers. Yeah, let's see. I want to make sure this is... This is doing what I expected it to do. Oh, another thing I did was, because I moved people, paver and whatnot, out of Revergrad here, I took off two of the guys who were dumping gravel in here. It's getting close to full anyway, so we could probably start this project back up when we wanted to. But at the moment, you know, I just thought, well, let's just we'll keep building rails, and we'll keep, you know, doing those things. I'm not too worried about having a radio station, and yeah. And I think at this point, I'd rather get this road paved, considering that. And I know I could just buy more vehicles, but at some point, enough is enough. Oh, you know what? The other reason, and you know what? Let's try to see about even taking care of this. If we come into our gravel over here in Camille, it's not doing great. Like, it's not poor, but I think what we could do to try to improve things is come up to here and get this plant going. Doesn't matter which one. I have two plants that have been built that I'm not using at all. So let's buy a mechanism. We only have one choice, huh? Speed 20. What about an American one? So we only have one choice of excavator. Now, what happens in 1992? Like, I hope I get another one by then. So this will be the first green excavator I think we have. What is the speed of, say, this guy? Doesn't really tell me. How can I tell? Oh, I guess maybe if I click on the quarry. No, it doesn't really tell me the speed of that guy. I don't know how to find out once they're gone. All right. Well, anyway, so what we want to do then is, yeah. So we don't really need people going there. Now let's just make sure. Is it a problem with people? No, we got plenty of people going there. All right, so let's go buy a few dump trucks. Dumper. And we might as well. I don't know why you wouldn't always buy the biggest. I mean, again, unless you have some like really specific little need. Let's just get two for now. And close that. And I want you guys to go from here. Now this might start becoming a bit of a cluster down here, but we'll have to see. Maybe that's another reason to take the get bigger trucks going. You know, so you have less trucks, but these guys hold 16 tons. These guys only hold 12. That's a pretty significant difference when you think about it. That's what, a third more. So. Did I start those guys? No, of course not. Because that would have been smart. We're not always smart. There we go. Good. So they should be. So we should be getting more gravel anyway. And like I said, I think we're pretty good with people. And that, speaking of people, I noticed that when I clicked on down here, because I was thinking about the plus 21 thing. We really don't have many plus 21 people here in Revergrad. I think I took enough of those educated people out to kind of, you know, we got two. I think our plus 21 people are happening more in other places. If I come here and click, we got 8. So I'm not sure when it comes to filling up over here, way up here, Lumbriska, I'm not sure that we should grab them from Revergrad as we have been. I don't think it really matters too much, but... And you know what we probably should do? Well, we've got to remember to do educated people up here. So, all right, so what are we doing? Okay, you're not doing anything. So why don't you... You know, I'm going to get them to build a house because a house doesn't need any components. And while I've got a bit of a cluster down here, they won't have to go back and get much stuff. Okay, good. See, now there you go. So that's what I wanted to have happen. And another thing I want to check is we are going to, yeah, this is a gas one. We're going to send this guy, this is something else I did, should have told you. Well, I'm telling you now. Look, here's all my guys that are exporting bitumen. So when our bitumen tank, yeah, it's starting to get caught back up. But it's either we're not using enough fuel and we were exporting too much bitumen. And I don't think it caused us any problems because I don't think I was paving much. But now that I want to get a bunch of paving done, you know, I don't want those guys selling off all our bitumen. So the good news is that, you know, we've got enough trucks to sell off bitumen. The bad news is I have all those trucks right at this moment. I happened to catch them when they were full of bitumen. So if I want to try to sell off some extra fuel, we'll see. But we should be using fuel at a pretty good clip, I would think. Now, do we have... Yeah, we have fuel. Yeah, this guy's fueled up. Good. Good. So we have... oh, do we finish something else? Yes, we finished... Well, that's what these guys are doing. So yeah, we'll do some flats. We're doing the cinema. Yeah, making pretty good progress on that. That's the one that these guys are working on, is the cinema. And then Farminska, wherever they are, over here, they should be working on this road. Yes. And what else? Yeah, here we go. So let's see. Do we have a traffic jam, or does that guy... Usually when I don't see everybody working on the rails, there's a good, not a good chance, but there's a fair chance that we have a thing. And our, I don't know if you noticed while I was flying around before, but our tracks are coming along nicely. We're almost down to Rivergrab. We'll have this done before you know it. Well, maybe not, but really, I probably should. Does this guy have, he has an excavator. You know what? Let's do this. Let's come up here and buy a couple more big dump trucks. And then what we can do is let's transfer the littler dump trucks down to Revergrad. Let's get 2 more tractor trailer dumpers. And let's take this guy while he's empty. Ooh, where's my depot? Go here, buddy. I'm going there. And you are going to just do that. And then okay, let's get this guy when he comes back out, right? Yeah. All right, so this guy... That's the guy I just sent out. We don't need that open anymore. We don't need this open anymore. Let's just open this. You know what? There's no reason I can't. Oh, you know what? Let's get this guy caught before he fills back up with gravel. Where is it? There we go. Good. All right, so he should come back here. And then once we get this guy set up, we'll then... I didn't set them on with the load because I don't, you know, I guess I'm feeling lazy. There you go. So now we have 2 big dump trucks coming in and out of here and 2 little ones. So that should, per truck clogging up the zone, be much more efficient. That guy needs to go get fuel. How are we doing on fuel here? Wonderful. Good. So there we go. I don't mind if they're jammed up here a little bit. Just don't want them to get jammed up here too easy, because that's where, if we ever had a third one, there was some discussion on the forums about, you know, having a conveyor system. I kind of like this. I mean, you know, if it, like, I picture this more like one big quarry in a sense. Like, this is the quarry right here, and we're driving it up to the processor plant. I think many quarries in the world use those big, huge dump trucks. That would be a cool thing to add, would be like the mega dump trucks. Like, I picture this guy as the dump truck that you You know, you just see that going down the road. Well, they have those, you know what I'm talking about, like the massive dump trucks. I forget who makes most of those. International, I think, might make a bunch of them. You know what I mean? With the tires that are like 8 feet tall or whatever it is. Anyway, all right, so now I'm talking. Oh, you know what? We never start this guy. But I did. You go. Now, you two, let's get rid of your roots just so I know what you're doing. You are going to become workers. Let's zoom out for here. So when those guys get down here, what we'll do is I think we'll have everything else we need, right? Buses, crane. We have another open bed. That was a bulldozer up here. I don't think we really need a bulldozer. And this guy's working, or theoretically. Yeah, in our depots, I don't think we have any open flatbeds. So since we're rolling in the dough, and I think let's see, can we buy anything here? No. Okay, let's go with the Rubles. Open haul. Yeah, this is the big one. So we'll buy them an extra open haul. It's not really extra. It'll get them flushed out. And then eventually, well, we're going to work on roads first, and some of these are going to be paved. So he's got 3 cement mixers. Let's get rid of these. And once they leave, let's get them a paving. Yeah, no, just make sure these guys didn't have a paving thing. Let's get them a paving setup. So we can spend our... Yeah. Oh, look, we got a big bulldozer. Nice. All right, so we're going to get him an asphalt paver and a roller. All right, good. So now we've kind of created, in a sort of way, a whole nother construction thing by splitting these guys up. Because again, money at this point, remember the last episode, or one of the, not last episode, episodes ago where we took a look and I started to understand this. Well, look, we're still doing really well. Like, let's just do this year, 12 million plus, and then this is what, like 5.5, 7.5. Between those two, that's another 4, so we're at 11. So we're, even with doing quite millions of dollars in construction, we're still generally positive. So, all right. So I mean, we don't really need to wait for those dump trucks to get down here to say, go ahead and build this road. Good. So that takes care of that. It's been a little while since I clicked on this to make sure. Making sure that there's students, like kids in here, not adults. That's like the easiest way to sort of tell that you've got enough teachers. Now, obviously, if you set it up like me, where you have a building, you can always go look and say, yep, 41 teachers. And I would say, thinking about it, if there's 3 shifts of teachers, you probably want to have 45 highly educated people for each school. So let's say, I think this is the other one. Yeah, see, so we're starting to dip down below that, but that's not bad. That's if you want each school to be at its maximum, right? So there you go. Remember we had a whole bunch of problems with people? We've got that cleared up now. And if we look here, yeah, 41 people. We're 41 highly educated people. We're probably keeping the school fairly well staffed 24 hours a day. We're 365 days of the year. Sure. Now let's just make sure. We'll take a look here. Now again, see here we're not going to have nearly as many educated people or teachers, but we don't have a problem with adults, people making it to adulthood without being educated. And if we look at our place that we have at, yeah, see we only have 12, but I think we also in this town have a few other No, not anymore. See, they left, or they died. Yeah, so we probably should, in our shuffling around people, I want to get some more educated people. How is our total educated number? Yeah, we're starting to get pretty high on that. Well, we're pretty high, but at the same time, we're getting quite a population too. So it's percentage-wise not unacceptable. And the reason I don't want, like, you know, when I say I don't want to build another university at this point, it's like I got enough educated people to do what we need to do. And I think the more time they spend in university, they're not working. So you're actually, if you're educating everyone, I don't think there's any benefit to being a highly educated person other than if you need them to teach school at this point or work in a hospital. And apparently, eventually, they plan on having like doctors, so that you'll have to have a medical university to teach, to go to be a worker in the hospital. So for now, it doesn't matter. Apparently. How are we doing here? Just a little bit of stuff left. Yeah, so we've got all this built and ready to go. It's just a matter of, you know, getting enough support housing. We do have a... okay, right there. Make sure we had the sports. I half forgot. Yeah, and all the roads are done and into here, so it's just a matter of building the buildings. And how are we doing in our cluster? Okay, good. Now, what I don't like about the signaling here is that it stops. Well, I don't know that. I'd like to put this signal back far enough. And we're going to think about this intersection because... yeah, let's just keep these guys going. Why do we not have people working? Okay, this guy's heading back. Okay, what do we just not have assignments? No, we have assignments. So where is everybody? The fact that they're not jammed up here is a good sign. Yeah, this guy's coming back. And another thing I would say is if you're going to be building, and I think I might have even said this in the last construction episode, but if you're going to be building railroad tracks far away, it really is nice to have these bigger ones. They do a lot more track laying in between having to go back each time, so there's one guy who seems missing. Is he... there's one guy behind us. There's two guys. Oh, there he is. How did I miss him? Okay, well, good. He's plugging right along on that one. And yeah, we just sort of need to get past this intersection here. How's our pavers doing? We got a lot of work. Oh, good though. But at least this, see, there's the other trucks that we added. So the reason that they're paving or not paving isn't going to be because they don't have dump trucks, which is good. We have 4 dump trucks. I didn't really... that's fine. That'll keep them guaranteed to be in asphalt, even though, why did that guy just bring that little tiny amount? Or maybe he got bumped. Do we have 107 tons? Yeah, good. Well, that's why I'm doing it out of here, because let's make sure we have bitumen. The reason I'm doing it out of here is because the gravel's right there and the bitumen's closer, so he should stay pretty well stocked up. Where if I did it from over here in this asphalt plant, even though it's a little closer, probably, maybe, it would, I'd be into this traffic jam and all kinds of problems. So let's see, speaking of traffic jam. Yeah, look, works. Good, so those guys got out and back in. Good, so this guy shouldn't have a problem because nobody else is coming back in. Yeah, well, that is the plan. Anything else exciting happening? This guy looks like he's done working on something. And even though it's going to be a little bit of throwing him into the fire, let's have him work on that. As soon as we can get that going, we can get, you know, if I can get a couple of these guys moved down here, then there'll be a little bit less of a cluster going on getting in and out of this one. And then let's say like we left 2 here, those 2 could go down here working, finish that off while these guys are, you know, not having to go as far theoretically. So that means we will need trucks to haul some stuff in and out of here, but that's okay. We have the money at this point. And we got a lot of work to do. Tons and tons of work to do. Okay, let's take a look at our... Yeah, so he's still doing the prefab, and what are you done your road over here? No, you're still plugging away on that. Do we have more roads to do? Yeah, a couple more roads in here. Little connector roads, which are a bit of a pain, but good. Now, is this guy coming back the right track? Yeah. Well, why don't I cut the video here? I know this is mostly a construction episode, but if you can't tell, I'm sort of running out of things to say about things. And I mean, you're getting the idea here. We're definitely making progress. I won't do anything dramatic at all. And then we will come back when, I don't know, we just have more railroad tracks or something exciting. Probably the only thing I'll really do is keep plugging away at just building up, you know, these things. And when we get to a point that I feel like I have more to say about what's going on, I'll come right back. How's that sound? All right, see you guys in a little bit. We have a little bit of a problem. This road section is tiny, and I think some of these other ones are going to be a little bit on the small side as well. So I would like to add a bus. Let's see, can we get American buses? Just because we don't have a huge amount of money to spend on them. We don't need the biggest bus. I kind of want the... Yeah, this guy holds 95. You know what, for 14 grand, let's just get a little blue bus. So now this guy has the ability to go get people from somewhere, but we got to assign it. So now the problem with having the bus in here is that they'll always try to get people, which is not a huge issue. I don't think it matters. This is the closest I think we're going to get people from. So let's just go to this one. There you go. So now if we go back, which I didn't need to close that, and we assign this little guy there, we should be able to actually work on it. There we go. The bus is going to get a few people. See, the problem being that because it's such a small, tiny thing, you don't get a mechanism. So I was counting on long road sections where, like, this is getting completed because we have a mechanism, even though we don't have any people. So, anyway, the other thing that was at all exciting, and up until that little problem, this was probably the most exciting thing. Well, 2 most exciting things. I put some signals in here so that this guy can go on his way working there. Where are you going? It doesn't look like you have anything on you. He's getting up to this bridge. Yeah, no, he's building the bridge. He just doesn't appear to have any supplies there, does he? That's all right. I don't care if you actually have supplies showing, as long as you're being productive. So now when this guy comes back, let's assume we don't have a traffic jam. No, he's just going up that way. He'll be able to go back to work on whatever he was doing, which I'm going to let him... I don't see any real harm in him finishing this out. I might... Hopefully it's pointing in just the right direction. I don't see myself changing that, but we'll see. But at least he's, you know, pretty shortly here we'll get him going this way. and get him working on that and get him in here. So this is this done now? Oh yeah, let's take it off of auto search. Oh, look, whoa, whoa. What was that? Did you see the red? Where did we get the red? Why did I have the red? Auto, oh, look at that. So it's showing the range. Ah, here, let's pause for a second here. So if I come up to this construction zone and put it on auto search, oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't really want that. Now I've got, yeah, now I think I have to, okay, let's take, oh, look at that. I think this is new. Now remember, I'm working on the test version, which is making me a little bit scared, but I haven't had any issues with it so far. Yeah, look at that. So we could, that's a nice little added feature there. Yeah, I really do actually like that, because there's definitely times I think I might use that. So let's take it off auto search, and then unfortunately cancel all these. Now, I don't know what he was actually working on. Oh, he's working on the railroad thing. All right, so that's already complete. That's what he was working on. So let's see. Is there any other priority for him? There's nothing over here to work on. So I would say a building we can reach over here. How about our train aggregate unloading? Very good. All right, let's play time again. And good, so the rail construction's done. Let's take this off of auto search. Oh yeah, this problem. So you can't, anything that's connected directly to them, you can't, it will just constantly assign it. So whatever, we're gonna have to build it coming in the other way anyhow. So all right, I don't see anybody working. Is that, no, you're not jammed up. So as they get more spread out, they're less likely to bump into each other as much. And this guy is he's making good progress here, huh? Probably not the first rail I would work on down here, but it all needs to get done. How's this guy doing? He's getting there on the other track. So fairly soon we'll be able to make that a one-way track and eliminate a few more of our issues. How is this going? He just needs quite a few things. And oh, that's right, another exciting thing is that he needed bricks. So fortunately we have 3 parking spaces where we can, you know, have the fuel truck sitting there and also have the bricks. We don't need any boards for the bridge. And so I had bought just a flatbed, open bed truck, open haul, whatever they call it. And yeah, so now we have bricks sitting there whenever we need them coming from here. And that's sort of the plan with this over here, other than, you know, we only have 3 parking spaces, which is fine if we're just laying track. Sort of, because then we still need the fuel thing. So at least one of the trucks or 2 of the trucks are going to have to just keep running back and forth, even though it's a pretty, just a waste of fuel. But unless I decide to build more infrastructure around this guy, which I don't know. It was fun to build it over here and see how it all laid out, but I'm not sure how totally worth it was when we already had some of it. Like, we have everything we need right here and we could just put trucks into here. But then again, thinking about it too, if we ever wanted to put a boards truck in here, now by taking care of 3 of the 6 things we could use, right? We took care of steel with a yard, prefab panels, bricks. I guess we also have the electronic components, which we haven't needed because we're not doing electrical. But by taking care of 4 of the 7, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 of the 6. That can Yeah. Why am I having a hard... Oh, gravel. I think 7. It's gravel. Yeah. So 4 of the 7. That means we could have 3 trucks sitting here taking care of the other 3 things and not just end up with a constant traffic jam there. Hey. Okay. I don't know which way you guys came from. So what I've been doing is, you know, I think that guy might have come from the bridge, right? Which is likely to be... this one. Oh, how about this one? All right, not the one I would have chosen to get rid of, but let's give him a half a second to get in there a little bit further so that he definitely beats this guy back here. Even though if you notice, look, that's blue. So that's, I think we're fine to go because now that I think about it, the blue will stop this guy. So we want to reassign. Well, now that we canceled those, why don't we do this one? And I want to finish the one bridge before I start on another, and that one. Good. You know what though? Did I just make sure I don't have too many trucks? Too many. Yeah, interchange ski is actually the... I don't know why I named it that, but yeah, that's actually like this here. So, and then Revergrad is the guy going all the way down here. So we're in good shape. Perfect. All right. So what else is going on? Let's just take a quick look at the population. And once again, completely happy with their dictator. You know, unemployment. You know, we're going to be taking some people out. Plus 21 children going up. How's our overall? Let's do this year. Kind of tell things a little better. Population steadily kind of increasing. You know, 7,000 births this year, 6,100 deaths, plus another almost call it 700. We got like population growth of 300. And again, considering that we have this many adult children not making babies, we're in good shape. I really don't want any more people to become unemployed. Oh, look, we got these roads done, so let's assign... Ooh, that's a nice big one for them to do. There we go. So I'm just getting him to work on roads for now. No real big hurry for this down here, other than to get bricks into the works, which we'll do after we get some roads built. And we don't even have the railroad tracks done, so... All right, well, there you go. There's a bit of an update about the construction going on. Do we get another traffic jam? No. Yeah, see, now this guy will just sit there and wait until this guy gets in, which prevents another traffic jam. Not the most efficient, but again, not worried about it, because once construction slows down from this depot, I don't really see, you know, I just don't see that as being a huge problem. The little bit of steel or electronic components and these... The bigger issue would be getting people in and out of the gravel, maybe, and the prefab panels, because those will be active running things, but they should be okay too, because as the train comes in and out, it's going to get all the way up to here before it then blocks these people for a little while, you know, and then kind of goes on its own way. These won't be one-way tracks, so that's why we have the switch here. So they can get in either one, and then this will be one way once we can set it up that way. All right, let's just take a last check. Are these guys doing anything yet? Do they have people? What are we waiting for? Ooh, that's a dumper, not a construction site. Yeah, we just don't have any people. So hopefully our little blue bus, where is our little blue bus? Were you going to get fuel? No, that's not. Yeah, where is our little blue bus? Is this you? Yeah, no. No. Well, let's do it this way. Oh, you're going over the long. Why are you going? Oh, because you're. Yeah, see, this is, he dropped his people off over here. Which is fine for speeding that up, but yeah, probably should. Oh, I can't even, yeah, I can't even reduce the number of people on a road. Alright, well, whatever. We'll deal with it. So we're just going to have to wait for people to come there. I was hoping to kind of get this done while this was being worked on. And maybe when he gets his second run, we got the asphalt waiting, so no, don't go back there. Now you're getting fuel. Okay. No, you're not going to get fuel. You're going to do the union, park it up, and let Joe go get the fuel, right? Instead of just stopping in on your way back home, you know? Anyway. All right. Well, let me, again, I'm just going to keep plugging away like this. If anything even remotely exciting happens, we'll come back and, let's see how, well, I keep saying that, but, yeah, are these guys? No, they're not doing anything. I think we're pretty safe to do a more needed building, as in the small store. No, we're not buying anything. I remember to turn off buying people. Good, so we're getting there on this. And that probably means is this guy. Yeah, this guy was doing our roads over in this area. So let's see. Just want to get the roads done first, and then I'll worry about the... Yeah, there we go. There's a nice long road you can work on, I think. Yep. Good. All right, well, I'll keep working on roads and railroad tracks, which is not the most exciting thing, but at least it's not the most dramatic, high-paced thing. How's our bridge doing? Slower than sin. but hey, we're building a bridge. I guess I can I get two of them? Probably with where I put those signals, I might be able to get the two of them working on that. But we'll see. I'd rather get this connected up. Oh, do we have power? Yes. Oh, buildings without power supply. Okay. Well, there you go. We need to... Where is this? Is there no power supply anywhere over here? No. I remember when I built this thing. So let's just... I mean, this has power to it, yeah, so that's good. So we don't need to worry about that. And, wrong button. I mean, I don't know where else. I mean, the yards would need stuff, right? So I don't want to be too far away in case I built some yards up there, but I'd also want to kind of cover this whole area. I don't have a road other than that one. Is there a reason I wouldn't do something like this? No, I mean, that would cover a nice area. If I ever wanted to put like a fuel thing in, I think I'd be close enough to the tracks. Just going to actually move it. Here, let me zoom in so you guys can see. I think I'm going to move it back enough. Oops, I didn't necessarily mean to build that way, but let's just see. Can we get a road down? No, can we get a road up? Can I get a road in between? No. How about doing some little lower action? Yeah, see, sometimes it just does this immediately self-leveling thing that helps. Nope. So what is the problem? Let's get on our wireframe. And it's just too steep. So let's get... Sort of lowers it more. We sort of want to raise it like here. Is that going to be close? Yep. There we go. So now we need a wire after all that. And why not just a big wire? Can we go right to someplace? Yes. go. Good. So now, even though you guys are working on something else, this is something you can co-work on just because it's relatively important as well. I don't mind if it takes them a little extra long. Let me turn off my wireframe. All right, well, there we go. That was something else we had to do. One of those little things that I would never have shown on video if I wasn't making a construction video. All right, well, I will be back when there's more little things to work on. See you guys in a minute. Once again, our trains have come to a little traffic jam. So I'm not sure which one was which and which one caused the problems, but let's come up here and see if we can't delete the one that's causing the issue. 1 in 3 chance, right? This one? Yep, this guy should have a green signal now. I was on pause because I just started the video back up. It's actually been a little while in real life since I played and restarted the game. So there we go. So I should have paid more attention to which one wasn't working at that point. Good news is if you notice, I've got more than enough material. So if you do delete a material-laden train, it doesn't actually... That wasn't that one. Yep, it was this guy over there. It doesn't, you don't lose the materials, which is good. All right, so there we go. Got that straightened out. As far as anything else goes, really not much time has progressed. I have been assigning this guy the roads in this area. So let me continue to do that a little bit. There, that's a nice big road for him to work on for a while. And I'd like to go over to these other ones and see how they're doing. Okay, so this guy... Oh, why do we got all these question marks? Really, you can't... They get to a certain point that they lock themselves up. I don't quite know why. Why can't you can't go this way? The only thing I know, and this is the reason I think, the only reason I think you need the fund button. So I'm going to do it with dollars just because it's about the same difference in price as is normal to have between the two. So it's not like it's there. I don't like doing that, but I don't understand why it's... Can they not... Like, why couldn't they come in either direction? Is it because they were working on that? I don't know. So let's keep them paving. Oops. Oh, sorry. Getting a little ahead of myself. Let's give them a job to do, or create the job. Really? I can only go that far. Okay. Pave that. Hopefully they can figure out how. Maybe it was something to do with me ending at the wrong time. Or... I have no idea. Okay. No idea why they will all have been sitting there paused. Even if they don't have... I mean, they're only paving, but even if they needed more than what they could pave with, it doesn't usually sit there with those question marks. Like if I didn't have steel assigned to the thing, it wouldn't have done that. Now this guy, we're going to send him back to work on something up here if it needs it. Since he's our road crew guy, I'm going to put him up onto this. And now that we're up here, this guy can work on another... Yeah, work on the kindergarten. And I'll send this guy to work up on town here as well, if he's not doing anything else. No, he's not. And I'll tell you why. Well, I want to get Lumbriska going. That's probably the primary reason why, right? Yeah, get them their pub. There we go. So hopefully they'll be able to work on all that stuff. But I had 2 suggestions about this area. The first one was from Radomir pointing out that I was talking about this train station being necessary, cargo station, being necessary to bring in wood and crops, which it certainly can handle wood, but this warehouse couldn't handle wood, so I don't actually have a connection to our chemical plant. which is a bad thing. And then somebody, I'm going to call her, but at least her image is of a female, P, like NIIP. Is that Nintendo 2 player? I don't know. So anyway, which is I guess the best way I would have to say that name, said that, oh, that's way overkill. I have like 4 of them in a row, like all supplied by trucks, and I thought, well, that makes sense, but I don't want all those trucks all over the road. And then I thought about it even further, and I said, well, why would she say it's such overkill? Here, let me pause for a second, because we're about to do some destruction. And I thought, boy, look, she's right in the sense that this says it'll only do 0.5 chemicals. So it's like we really don't need that much stuff up here, and it doesn't need that many, it doesn't need that many things coming in, especially not, it needs 4 things coming in, which is a lot, but it doesn't need that much of them. It doesn't need huge amounts of things. So what I'm thinking is that what I would like to try to do is set this up in such a way that we could have more of these lined up if we wanted more chemicals, because I have a feeling that this one chemical plant will struggle to produce all the chemicals we need. And I think Nee is absolutely right that having the trains come in here is fine and all, whatever, but it's not going to consume, that one chemical plant's not going to consume that much or produce that much. And I think we're going to want it to produce, we're going to want more chemical plants producing more. So what I think I would like to do to start out is like think about this in such a way that we're going to actually just drive things to this plant. So I would like to, just for now, destroy this plant. It's not actually built, so I'm not really destroying anything. Let's play it for a minute. Well, I'm going to destroy each of these buildings. Hopefully we didn't mess ourselves up too much when it comes to where we already built that gravel store. Right. There we go. Power plant, I'll just leave there for the minute, though we'll question that, right? And I'll probably even get rid of this one since I can. Alright, once again, I am going to pause it for my own sake and sanity. So now we do have this warehouse, which I would like for it to remain our warehouse of chemical production or chemical holding, so that we can have trucks come in here or rail come in here and take the chemicals to wherever they're needed. Now, what I'm thinking I would like to do is we'll have a little bit of a truck system running to a series of chemicals here. So let's, I know I'm going to have to delete. Let me delete this rail here. Again, we're not deleting anything for real, so. There we go. We may end up deleting that road, I realize, but we probably, we might want to, yeah, so this rail is completely gone. And for that, what I'm thinking of is like in this area, let's go back and do, we're going to want an open yard, but I don't think we need a huge one. But I do want to be able to bring everything in still by rail and or by rail, basically. So what I'm thinking of is we put the stuff we want along here. So it's, well, we wouldn't want to block the rail coming out of this one. So let's come down. We want each one to have its own spur off of a double line. And do we really need that road there? No. All right, so what I want to do, well, let's see. Yeah, now we can connect. Yeah, how much is this guy's? Yeah, well, we can have the train just come right into here. All right, sorry, I'm not thinking through things 100% yet. I'm just going to get rid of this road. Pains me to delete things that were brand newly built. And I'm gonna, before I forget where it's at, we're just going to get rid of that. In fact, we're going to get rid of more of that. All right, there we go. So So yeah, it's unfortunate we don't have a rail connection with this guy. And it's unfortunate that we don't have... Yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll do it this way because I'd rather have the road connection coming out. Now, let's do something else before we do that. Let's get a rail. This would be the tighter turning rail, right? So if we can get this guy to come across the road. I really don't think we're going to need that much gravel here. So let me see. Can I just get this guy? No, it's not until I get to the straight, which then it's into the road. You know what? It's not going to make that much difference. Let's just bring this across. There you go. And so now we can come back to... I don't think it matters which one we do first, right? Now we can come back to... over here. Need flat terrain. As soon as it goes, okay. So let's try to level some stuff in this area. Let's get our wireframe tool. So maybe what we can do is, I want to call this, I don't want the episodes to go too long because, as I've said to some of you in the past, it does mess with my software that renders these videos doesn't necessarily like to be, doesn't like to do videos that are too long. So here we go. Let's push this in this way a little bit and down this way slightly. I'm going to come over here a bit more. Nice. So I think, let's see, can I, we're going to want to get a road, we're going to want to get a rail out of there, so. Okay. All right, well, it looks like we can get one out right here anyway. I don't want to... There we go. So let's see about going back to here. It looks like we can get one out of there without doing too much more raising up. And unfortunately, is that... Okay, yeah, so unfortunately, the rail's on the right side here. We'll just bring it down. Now, or does this building have a rail? You know what? That one's a little bit... You know what? That's even nicer because then a road going this direction would be not interfered with by another building. And then this rail is further closer to me so that it'll go up that slope a little bit more easily and be a little further away from that rail. Yeah, let's put it like here. So now we can have a train come into here and drop off crops. And I think we need to get rid of this road, right? So we have our gravel coming in. Now we need the rail open storage, and yeah, there's not going to be, and I would have the open storage like as close to that guy as I can get them. All right. Well, here's what I'm thinking. This is, I'm going to do a little bit of leveling, and then I'll come in and put in buildings. We'll put this building down, and then I think I'd like to call it a bit of an episode. I think I need to get rid of this road. It's just, well, yeah, it's just not. Now, what is this? Okay, that's where we're dropping off oil, so we may end up getting rid of all that too, or not. Let's see how it lays out. Actually, no, you know what? I think this might work out. You know what I think I should do is not level this. I think I should pick a point right in here. Well, why don't we come back in the next episode? I will just, it is paused. I will not do any more work other than to maybe just level out a little bit since that's so boring to watch. And we'll come in here and we'll get a place where we can drop off wood. We'll kind of make sure this time that we actually have a place that each of the trains can go. Then we'll redesign our little railroad tracks here and I think the other thing I might, we have an oil tank here, so it'd be nice if I didn't have to change this, but there you go. Okay, well, thank you guys very much for your comments. You can see we're reacting to them and making things better based on them, so I definitely appreciate it. And yes, by the way, I do think that this city will look better when we put in, different style buildings. So that's another comment from a couple people. So thank you for those comments too, Radomir. And let me go look. I'm sorry. Nino, that's right. I didn't actually see that. I remembered that. Anyway, good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We will be back extremely shortly in real life to continue this and to get to another episode. So thanks, guys. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.